people. That is why our products are our very own pride, from our famous delicacies to our annual celebration of Balagtas Day, which showcases the different crafts of the famous designers hailed from Bulacan. We Balagtaseño are devoted to our faith, and that leads us to appreciate our very own culture, tradition, and heritage. And joining Miss Philippines Earth gave me a reason to widen my advocacy. Project Pag-asa is a volunteer cleanup drive where we work together to improve the vision to transform our municipality into a like a Philippine eagle. I have a role for the ecosystem, and I will soar high amidst adversities. I am a woman of the earth.
Hi, Miss Malacan. Good evening.
Hello everyone, good evening.
I guess for my question, you mentioned about your advocacy earlier.
Yeah.
So, how are you? I believe you are already applying that now, but how are you planning to continue your advocacy even after Miss Philippines Earth? Do you have any plans in continuing that? Because I believe it's a good advocacy, especially now during the pandemic. So, do you have any plans of perhaps working with an NGO or with your government for you to continue with your advocacy?
Actually, before I started joining Miss Philippines Earth, I really had an advocacy which is about health. And I was thinking about how can I relate health into the environment. And that's where Project Pag-asa came, where we in my team tried to have a campaign, and this is the campaign in which we are trying proper waste management. And I didn't know that my voice would be enough to make an influence to our municipality. And I am very, very proud to say that last week we already started proper waste management. Trashes was always a problem in our community, and now we have trash bins in all over our neighborhood. And I would still continue my advocacy even after the Miss Philippines Earth because I think that it is not for me, but it is for my environment. If I am going to make a change, I will start now and I will influence other people because I think this is my goal to be passionate about my advocacy and to make a change for our environment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hi Trisha, I really like your project of it's Pag-asa, right? Pag-asa.
Yeah.
Because it really encourages volunteerism. But I'd like to check. I know that not everyone will be for volunteerism. So how would you encourage volunteerism in your area?
I would like to encourage volunteerism in my area by starting it with myself. I want to share that environment is fun. Or I could say that doing something for the environment is fun. And I started, sorry.
It's okay, you can wrap up your answer.
Okay, so I started it with the kids. I tried to encourage them by simple things like drawings that would captivate their minds. And I think that captivating minds of others would make a way that they would like to go and try volunteerism in their own way and to join our community project Pag-asa.
I agree. You should start when they're young kids, right?
Yes. And still, whenever they're still young, so when they grow old, they could have that attitude on having a value for the environment.
All right. Right, thank you, Miss Balagtas Bulacan. You ended that beautifully. I especially love the part when you covered the power of your voice. That is very important. All right. Now let's move on to our next delegate for tonight, Miss Bawang Laonyol. Mabuhay and may bagong araw. This is Valerie Flores Cavite, your Miss Philippines Earth, Bawang Laonyol.
Abawanganya, I promote marine life species. One of our municipalities' focus is to sustain coastal resilience and develop the underutilized rivers into mangroves. Bakawan helps our nature to maintain the balance of our ecosystem because it serves as a habitat to birds and marine species, including my chosen fauna.
My chosen fauna is Aries medalensis, that belongs to the marine species that is endemic to the islands of Luzon. It is commonly known as the Manila catfish or canduli.
Arius menalensis or kanduli is a white catfish variety found in the lakes and freshwater systems in the Philippines, usually in the islands of Luzon. In area around Manila, Bataan, Laguna, Cavite, and Rizal, including the Pasig River and Laguna de Bay.
Again, this is family Flores Covita, and I am a woman of leader.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, Valerie. It's nice that you started your video from the top of the mountain down to the mangroves. Very interesting. You shared with us your chosen fauna, which is the fish, and then you mentioned about Pasig River. Have you ever heard of the news before that there are species of fish in the Pasig River na nag-mutate na because of the amount of toxicity in the Pasig River? And what is your reaction upon hearing this?
Well, of course, I feel sad for it because there are endemic species in Pasig River that already mutate due to the toxicity level in that river. And I think it is something that should remind each and every one of us to take care every river or every ecotourism spot or landmarks in our municipality to be able for us to preserve these kinds of faunas or animals.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm just curious. Since you mentioned about protecting, do you have any idea how your local government is protecting the marine biodiversity in your area?
Thank you so much for that question, Mom Darren. Actually, the LGU or the Municipality of Buwang has a regular cleanup drive and mangrove rehabilitation. We have what you have seen on my video. We have the Bakawan Eco Park, which is now on the rehabilitation or in the improvement for us to preserve the marine life on the area.
All right.
Hi, Valerie. Good evening. Hi. So you know what? I've been to Bawang, and you know what? It's called as it's the beach capital of the Philippines.
Yeah.
How does your area or municipality help protect the beaches in your area?
The beaches here in Bawang, I can probably say that these are all clean. Despite of the fact that there are popping businesses or establishment, we make sure that there are regular coastal cleanup and the Bawangeños are really good in preserving the beaches. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to visit Bawang again.
Hope to see you, sir.
All right, thank you, Miss Bawang La Union. You did great. Now going on to our next delegate who comes from one of the places I love here in the Philippines, Calatagan, Batangas.
I am Hannah Chanel Arellano, Miss Philippines Earth Calatagan, Batangas, and this is my hometown. Calatagan is known to home of beautiful beaches, rich in marine biodiversity. Aside from historical landmarks, which we are very proud of, like the Cape Santiago Lighthouse, who served as a guide to our local fishermen, the birds flying above our mangroves represent our simple life away from urban. With our aim to fight climate change by supporting our country's ecological solid waste management act, we have our own sanitary landfill as a preventive measure which promotes the 5 R's. refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle. It clearly shows that collaboration between government leaders and its constituents has effects, and that all efforts, no matter how small, can always need to contribute to something impacting in the long picture. The responsible actions and preventive measures of my beloved hometown captured the charm of our beautiful geographic area. Seeing birds flying around, spreading their wings signifies that there is hope for our nature. And fish in the abundant sea, playing with their corals, represents change. Our love for these animals should grow so that we can protect them against climate issues. As an eco warrior, when hope and change combine, we can positively add a tide to the ripple of our movement. This is Hannah Chanel Arellano, and I am a woman of the earth.
Hi, Hannah.
Good evening po.
All right. One of the things that struck me in your video is yung mga kalsada, believe it or not, yun talaga yung nakapukaw sa akin. And I'm sure decades-old trees along the road. What is your reaction to several other LGUs who cut down their very old trees to widen the roads? And this is happening all over the country. Would you tell them to go ahead, widen the roads, or tell them to think about other options?
So actually, we've been facing that problem. The one that we saw on our highways was on the process of cutting down, but we have nothing to do with it because it was recommended by the engineers. However, the Isabel Foundation had this promise of replacing those trees because what is wrong about that trees is that that place where it is planted is actually owned by the government. So as something in exchange for it, they will replace it and they will move the trees or plant another trees inside their premises.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, hi, Miss Batangas. Now, when I was watching your video, you focused also more on the waters. Now, I was just wondering, how is the solid waste management in Calatagan, Batangas?
The solid waste management in Calatagan, Batangas is really commendable. As you can see in our eco video or in my eco video, we have this sanitary landfill which is in compliance with the Republic Act number 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. It was constructed in 2018 and began operating in 2019. This is also
You can wrap up your answer, it's fine.
also to address the issue of waste production in our community. Because as tourism industry rise in our community, comes also the rise in the number of waste generated. Actually, during the pandemic, where tourist activities or tourism activities are restricted, our local government unit found out a 47% decrease in the waste generation. So that 47% was from service. And as an action, we improved our solid waste management initiatives by improving the landfill and also being in collaboration with the barangay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Calatagan. I'm pretty sure that all of the local government units of these girls are very proud of them for sharing their efforts in preserving the environment. Now, on to the next, we have Miss Iba and Batangas.
Mabuhay! I am Renee Colleen Santa Teresa, Miss Philippines Earth, Iba and Batangas. Join me as we explore the shining gem of Calabarzon and be mesmerized by the wonderful culture, breathtaking attractions, and joyful people. One of the things you shouldn't miss during your visit here is exploring our unique culture and arts. We are home to excellent weavers who enliven the oldest form of weaving, known as hemp. These world-class fabrics are also transformed into useful products like face masks, bags, wallets, and more. We also pride ourselves in our tubo, which flavors our lives with sweetness. Aside from that, the green and rich agriculture of our town offers sustainable agri-tourism for those who want a joyful tour. Speaking of tours, let's begin our journey in the heart of Ibaan, Archdiocesan Shrine and Parish of St. James the Greater. We Ibaeños are known for being religious, and it's no doubt that this is one of the most visited places in our town. Just beside our church is the People's Park of Ibaan, where we can sit back, relax, and get to enjoy interesting sceneries and appreciate the charming greeneries. Now, before our tour ends, let's get closer to nature as we take a relaxing and refreshing dip in one of our hidden gems, the Dumayaka
Thank you sa
Falls.
mga nag-like.
Majestic falls offer a captivating cascade of crystal clear water paired with a calm ambience. The local government unit of Ibaan works hand in hand with its people to ensure the efficient implementation of its environmental initiatives. And just like my chosen
Pa-subscribe
motto,
naman po.
Ibaan is a symbol of a beautiful transformation. I am Nicolene Santa Teresa, and I am a woman of the earth.
Hi, Renee. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, sir.
I'm very impressed with the architecture in your area and also the textiles. I love that. And one thing that struck me the most really was the falls. What's the name of the falls once again?
The Dumayaka Falls, sir.
Falls. I'm into that. I'm into trekking, but I'd like to find out from you. I know that you'd like to promote your area. How do you think you could find that balance when you start inviting people?
Pa-subscribe
but then
naman
still
po.
preserve
Salamat.
your area?
Yes, I think that's where sustainable tourism comes in, because that certain area in our town is still quite a bit
Share the
yet,
live, share
it's
the
yet
live.
to be developed, and I hope that once we are ready to accept tourists, we could incorporate more sustainable preparations first. We have to ensure that
Thank
we
you,
are
Mami
ready to
Sha,
accept tourists,
Ma'am
so that
Shipao.
once the pandemic has passed and we are starting to accept more tourists, we know that we can handle them. So I think that it's a very important way to prepare ourselves and to take care of the falls that we have.
I agree. Prepare your area first. Thank you.
Hi, Renee. I saw in your video that you had interactions with both people older than you and people younger than you. What lessons did you learn from the older people, and what wisdom did you gain from the young ones?
From the older people, I have learned that it's very important to always preserve and appreciate your culture. We Baeños, we are very blessed because we have a rich culture, we have amazing people, and I have learned to hold on to that and really be proud of it. And every time I visit a different municipality, I always tell them you should come to Ibaan and experience, so that you can experience joy, because really when you visit here, the feeling is so different. We're just a small town, but we're very happy. It's very colorful. So that is one of the lessons I've learned from our elderly. And for the younger people, I've learned that it's also important to develop as well, for us to keep improving. It's not bad. Development is not bad as long as we have a proper balance. We still know how to balance that and still not forgetting about our culture. So that's what I've learned from our younger ones.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Iba and Batangas. Wow, I can see the passion of these girls through the screen. And now, marking our 7th delegate for tonight, let us call on Miss Legazpi City.
The word resilience has been thrown around to describe how Filipinos are able to pick themselves up in the midst of a disaster. The year was 2006. Typhoons Melenio, Remy, and Senya devastated the city of Legazpi, claiming thousands of lives and causing billions of pesos in damages. The city's immediate peril is the active Bangko Mayon. Legazpi City also experiences an average of 3 to 5 cyclones every year, and the subsequent threats of tsunamis due to earthquakes that pose additional risk to our city. All these dangers are because of the effects of climate change. The city learned its lesson and became a part of the zero casualty framework towards natural disasters. With effective implementation, the Legazpi City's initiative was recognized with Climate Adaptive and Disaster Resilient Award by the Climate Change Commission. Now is the time for us to take that conscious effort too. Rethink our actions, words, and doings, reduce our physical and environmental waste and emotional clutter, reuse our energy, and focus on more meaningful conversations and relationships in our lives. Recycle our thoughts and share to others what we think matters most, which is respect. Respect Mother Earth and those closest to us, even strangers. Mother Earth needs to heal. A simple act of responsibility can do so much for her recovery. And we should all act now. Minamaut po. From the lush countryside and breathtaking seascapes of Legazpi City, Albay, this is Erica Vina Talaveratan, and I am a woman of the earth.
Hi, Miss Legazpi.
Hello everyone, magandang gabi po.
I personally love your video because it was quite close to a lot of people with what happened. When we talk about, let's go back to your video about disasters. You mentioned about it. Video about disasters. You mentioned about it. What is the actions in the area of adaptation that your local government has done in order to make your people more prepared if ever disasters such as those things happen in the future?
Actually, if in the video it was stated about the zero casualty framework, basically it was implemented right after Bagyong Remy. For those who doesn't know, Bagyong Remy was one of the typhoons that actually struck Legazpi City, where thousands of people died and almost 8 billion pesos were lost when it comes to damages. So I guess the most important thing that is implemented by the government is the zero casualty framework, wherein people are being forced sometimes when they hear that the typhoon is very strong, they try to tell people to evacuate. Other than that, they make sure that the drainage system is very clean. Same time with the Legazpi Boulevard, this is the boulevard right next to our ocean. We clean it because sometimes the dirt collected there would be the one who would disrupt the flow of the irrigation system.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica. Chosen fauna, which is a Philippine cobra.
Yes.
According to the IUCN, it's already nearly threatened.
Yes.
So, but you know what? As Filipinos, if we see a snake, what's our automatic reaction? Either we run away from it or kill it, right? How do you
Yes.
think we help at least assist people in changing their mindset about protecting such endangered or almost threatened species?
Okay. You see, sir, I believe that Philippine cobras are actually animals that are very misunderstood. The only time that the Philippine cobras would defend themselves is that when they feel that they are threatened. So basically, if they don't feel threatened at all, you wouldn't see them in their attack mode. So I guess the most important, and I encourage everyone, is to educate ourselves. There are organizations that actually help you to collect this kind of species when you find them in your home or whatnot. So I encourage everyone, let's educate ourselves, and as much as possible, let's not harm these animals. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Legazpi City. We have reached half of our delegates already, so keep your support coming through the comment section, and don't forget to include our hashtags. Now let's listen to our next delegate for tonight, the